If we're being honest here, most men didn't know how to hug a woman properly. They treat it like a casual gesture, something quick and forgettable. When in reality, a hug can be one of the most powerful ways to spark desire, build tension, and create emotional connection. And here's the controversial. A woman can tell exactly what kind of man you are by the way you hold her. If your hug feels weak, nervous, or empty, she'll feel it instantly, and it will turn her off just as fast. But if your hug carries the right balance of strength, calmness, and intent, you can make her want you more without saying a single word. See, attraction isn't built-inly in the things you say or the flashy moves you try to pull. It's in the subtle, almost invisible moments. Like how you hold her when she's in your arms. Women are deeply wired to respond to body language, energy, and presence. And nothing communicates those three things more clearly than a hug. But most men blow it either by overdoing it and coming off needy or by undoing it and coming off weak. Here's where Stoicism comes in. A Stoic man doesn't chase validation. He doesn't cling. He holds his ground with calm confidence. And that confidence is exactly what women crave. When you who or like a man who's in control of himself in the moment. She feels safe, desired, and intrigued all at once. In this video, I'm going to break down 4 simple things you can do when you hug a woman that will completely change how she feels about you. Do them right and she walk away thinking about y'all long after you've let her go. Hold her like you own the moment. 1. Hold her like you own the moment, not like you own her. Here's where most men get it wrong. When they hug a woman, they either squeeze it too tightly, like they're desperate to keep her from leaving, or they barely hold on, giving off the vibe of insecurity. Both extremes kill attraction instantly. The secret is in the balance. You hold her like you own the moment, not like you own her. Owning the moment means sire, fully present. Your mind isn't tracing. You're not overthinking and are not clinging to her like she's his only source of your worth. Instead, you embrace her with calm, steady confidence. Your body language and newness. I'm grounded. I'm centered. I'm not chasing you, but I'm glad you. Here, this subtle shift in energy makes a huge difference. When a woman feels the tour, holding her with control, not force, she feels desired, but not dominated. She feels valued but not suffocated. And here's the controversial part. Women can instantly sense the difference. A man who clings too tight like communicates fear of loss. A man who overly touches communicates weakness, but a man who holds her firmly, calmly, and just long enough. That's the man she craves. Owning the moment also means Yara, the one setting the rhythm. Don't rush. Don't let nervous energy make your release too quickly. Take your time and let her feel that you're in control off the frame. But at the same time, don't grip her like property. You're not trying to prove ownership. You're repriving presence. This is what Stoicism is all about. A Stoic man doesn't panic when he gets close to a woman. He doesn't fumble with insecurity. He knows who he is, and he lets that confidence radiate through something as simple as a hug. That kind of self-control is rare, and that's why it's attractive. Imagine, you're hugging her goodbye after a date instead of rushing or holding on like it's your last chance. You wrap your arms around her with firm steadiness. You take a breath, relax your shoulders, and let the hug linger just long enough to feel natural. You don't squeeze too tightly, but you don't back off weakly there. When you finally release, you do it slowly, like you're in control of theming. That one hug alone can leave her wondering about you all night because it communicated confidence. Without a single word. Let silence speak louder than words. 2. Let silence speak louder than words. Here's a harsh truth. Most men ruin a hug by talking too much. They feel nervous in the silence, so they fill the moment with awkward jokes, forced compliments, or unnecessary chatter. What they don't realize is that silence, when used the right way, is more powerful than anything they could see. Why? Because women don't just listen with their ears. They feel with their bodies. When you're hugging her, she's not analyzing your words, just feeling your energy. You're calm, steady, and quiet. It communicates confines. If you fidget, talk too much, or joke nervously, it communicates sincere. Silence makes her pay attention. Tohat's actually happening. The closeness, the warmth, the physical connection. And here's where it gets controversial. Women don't want every meme explained. They don't want you to narrate your feelings or overexpress. Sometimes they want to feel your presence without the noise. That's where attraction deepens. A Stoic man understands this. He doesn't need to constantly seek validation with words. He doesn't have to say, I really like you, or this feels nice during the hug, because his actions say it all. His silence isn't awkward, it's intentional. It communicates that he's fully in the moment and that he's not desperate to impress. Think about it. When you say nothing, she's left to feel of everything. The steady heartbeat, the calm breathing, the unshaken frame. That quietness creates mystery. It makes her wonder, what's he thinking? And that curiosity draws her closer. On the flip side, when you talk too much, you kill tension and remove the intrigue. This is why silence is so underrated. Most men are terrified of it. But Theons who master it become unforgettable. Let's say you're hugging her after a deep conversation. Instead of saying something corny like, I never want to let you go, or cracking a joke to ease tension, you simply stay silent. You'll breathe steadily, hold her close, and let the moment linger. She feels your jaws rise and fall. She notices your calmness and she senses the strength in your silence. When you finally pull away, she's not thinking about what you said. She's replaying how the silence made her feel. That's the kind of hugs remembers. Stare confidently. 3. Stare confidently and lovingly into her eyes. Most men underestimate eye contact. They think of it as something small, but in reality, it's one of the strongest ways to connect with a woman on a deeper level. When you're hugging her themeament, you look into her eyes with calm confidence and genuine warmth. The hug transforms. It's no longer just physical. It becomes emotional, even magnetic. Here's the problem. Many men avoid hugs. They look away too quickly or they glance nervously, as if they're afraid of being caught. Others overdo it, staring with intensity that feels forced or creepy. Both mistakes break the moment. What women crave is not fear and not force, but presence. They want to see a man who can hold eye contact without flinching, without rushing, and without overcompensating. Think about it. When you look into Hiri's confidently, you're telling her without words that you're comfortable with intimacy. You're not hiding, you're innate desperate. And you're not trying to prove anything. You're simply there. That's rare because most men collapse under the pressure of intimacy. They can handle casual talk, but when the moment gets quiet and personal, they fumble. That's why a man who holds steady, loving eye contact instantly stands out. And here's the key. It's not just about confidence, it's about how you look at her. If your gaze is cold or empty, she'll feel disconnected. If it's aggressive, she'll feel uncomfortable. But if it's calm and loving, it carries both strength and warmth. She feels safe and desired at the same time. That's the sweet spot. You've probably experienced this in reverse. Maybe there was a moment when someone held eye contact with you. Steady.com, not saying much, but you felt the weight off it. You knew exactly what they were communicating without words. That's Theism. Feeling she gets when you do it right. Creates a level of intimacy talking can't touch. When you hug her, don't just hold her and pull away quickly. Take that brief second to look into her eyes, confident and unshaken with genuine care. That's when she feels it. That mix of safety, attraction, and curiosity. And it's that man that makes her want more. Make her feel safe. Lastly, make her feel safe, not smothered. Here's where a lot of men completely mess it up. They confuse making a woman feel safe with smothering her. They think clinging tighter, holding longer, or showing over-top affection is the way to make her feel secure. But let's be real, that's not safety. That's insecurity disguised as affection. Women don't want to feel like you're gripping them for dear life. Afraid you'll slip away the second you let go. That doesn't create attraction. It creates pressure. And pressure is the fastest way to kill her desire. What she actually wants is a man who can hold her with strength, but also with control. Someone who makes her feel protected, but not trapped. Men need to wake up here. If you're smothering her every time you hug, if you're desperate for validation in the way you touch her, she feels it. She reads it instantly. You might think you're being romantic, but what she sees is a man who's afraid of losing her. A man who doesn't trust his own presence to be enough. That's not masculine energy. That's neediness. Making her feel safe is different. Safety comes from calmness. It comes from the way you carry yourself. It comes from the quiet confidence in your hug, your breathing, your frame. So a woman feels safe when she knows you're in control of yourself, when you're not leaning on her for emotional stability, but instead offering her comfort through your strength. And here's the blunt truth. If you can't control your emotions, if you can't manage your insecurity, no hug will fix that. She'll always sense the neediness underneath. This is why Stoicism is so powerful. A Stoic man isn't cold, he's centered. He doesn't need to cling to prove his value. He simply shows up with steady energy. And that alone makes her feel secure. So men, stop smothering. Stop mistaking desperation for affection. If you want her to feel safe in your arms, you have to first become a man who is safe within himself. Once you master that, every hug will communicate him tinning. Far stronger than words. That too are confident, grounded, and in control. That's when she relaxes, lets go, and actually wants more of you. OUTRO. At the end of the day, the why you hug a woman says more about you than your words ever could. And here's the controversial truth that most men don't want to hear. If she doesn't feel more drawn to you after you hug her, it's another fault. It's yours. Too many men blame women for bink and fuzzing or hard to please when in reality the problem is that their presence, their energy, and their confidence simply isn't strong enough to leave an impression. That's why I shared these principles, because the difference between being forgettable and unforgettable often comes down to these subtle moments most men ignore. Now I want to hear from you. How do you usually hug a woman? Do you think you've been guilty of smothering her or maybe avoiding real intimacy? Drop your experiences in the comments below. Andy'll personally go through them. I want to connect with you guys, share a feedback, and maybe even guide you directly where you've been getting it wrong. In the next video, I'm going to reveal one hidden thing women's secret live judge about you before you even open your mouth. Click on that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you would be the first to know when I release the next video.